Hi, everybody! Welcome back to Gabriel Knight 2, The Beast Within. I'm here with Retro Kaiser.
Ah,
Whoa, what the hell
all
is
right, it's time to rock and roll.
that? Rock and roll with Georg, the knight in shining armor who let us roam around the Wagner Museum without any supervision. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. Let's ask about him.
What are you doing here if the museum is closed?
They always like to have a caretaker here. It's a good job for me. I can soak in the atmosphere of the maestro while I compose.
What are you composing?
This, oh, a new arrangement. One of Wagner's pieces.
For the Bayreuth Opera?
No. I am only a student at the university. I study music, composition, conducting.
You know what Mozart and Beethoven aren't doing right now? Decomposing.
But
That was a weak
Is there much
joke.
of a call for conductors in Europe?
Ask my brother. He is the conductor for the Munich Opera.
Well, that's convenient. Does that mean you get free opera tickets?
Yes. I get a week's pass to the Opernfestspiele, the opera festival in Munich. It starts in a few months.
Hope I'm still around to see it.
Come with me if you like. If you're still around, I can go backstage and all sorts of things.
I'd love that. If I'm still in Germany, I'll call you, all right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. Georg's horning in on Gabe's woman, I guess.
Tell me about Wagner.
Although he's been a bit of a jerk, so he deserves
He
it.
was a character. He spent most of his life trying to convince rich patrons to subsidize his work. Unfortunately, he had expensive tastes. You see, he believed that someone of his genius deserved
expensive
to live
taste. No.
well. Can't argue with that.
But Ludwig II supported him, didn't he?
Yeah, sure, but Ludwig came along very late in Wagner's life. By then, he had already been run out of Venice and most major cities because of debt. Ludwig saved him. And the music. Best thing Ludwig ever did.
Ludwig's letter to conductor. Oh yeah, these are probably things we saw in the
Do you
museum.
know anything about that letter from Wagner to Ludwig in the display case? The one about the diagram?
Ah, no. Some sort of equipment for Ludwig's theater. But I don't know why Wagner would have cared about this. If he was worried about any theater, you would think it would have been his own theater, here, in Bayreuth.
Mysterious.
Have you ever heard about the letter that Ludwig wrote to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to prepare for a new Wagner opera?
You're full of surprises. More American.
What do you know about it?
No one knows anything about it. It's like a treasure map, you know? It's probably a
I don't know
complete
why
fairy
it is.
tale
Whenever the
about,
main characters close-up shots,
does
like
make you wonder.
that seam, like you
have
can see
no
where
idea what
like
it could have referred
Grace's
to?
cheek is
Maybe
kind of
something
resting.
that Wagner was working on with Ludwig?
Yeah, that's really annoying how it kind of
was.
distorts the image.
There's no trace of it.
That
Except
that
perhaps
never
in
stops
the
bothering me.
dreams of unemployed music students.
Hey, I've got a musical joke for you.
Yep.
What do you call a museum? What do you call a musician that gets struck by lightning?
A good conductor?
Ah, that was predictable, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the same joke. The same joke you can tell about the joke goes that why did the old man get struck by lightning on the train? Well, he was a good conductor. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's something still at the Wagner Museum we have to do. But yeah, this indicates that we definitely have to go talk to... Let's go talk to the crazy fortune teller woman. I mean, Mrs. Smith again. We're gonna get another tarot reading. We already got 2 of those. Oh, I keep forgetting like how long people take to walk from point A to point B.
Did you hear about? Did you hear about the psychic that Did you hear about the psychic that bombed the bridge? She was a real terrorist.
Oh.
Terrorist.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna call the save file, because we did do a lot of progress, but now we have to go talk to Mrs. Smith again. People might notice that oh, she's gone! Disappeared! Let's ask
There's the bar-
let's
there's
ask
the
the...
bartender.
Yeah, we'll ask him. Oh, I think, I think he just we have to call them. They're, like, in their room.
There's Mr.
Herbert?
Inconsistent Hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes? I don't know. Do we want to talk about Gabriel's case? Let's see if...
I was wondering if you've changed your mind about telling me where Gabriel is. It's really important.
No. Sorry.
All right. Time to ask for the Smiths again.
Are the Smiths in their room?
Yeah, I believe so.
Could you ask them to come down, please?
Yeah, natürlich.
You know what? I should have adjusted the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just tell Merle what's going on.
I can't hear the game.
You can't hear it. Yeah. I thought that...
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a sec. All right. Let's ask about Ludwig's dream.
I had a dream last night. I didn't remember it at first, but I saw something today at one of the museums.
What was the dream?
I was being chased in the woods by wolves,
You can hear the game now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
and I saw a sleigh. Ludwig was inside. He pulled me up, and I thought I was safe. But then he turned into a wolf.
How erotic.
So what do you think, Mother?
A dream of rescue is a spiritual guide dream. The High Priestess in Gabriel's cards must be linked to Ludwig somehow.
What do the wolves represent?
I'm a psychic, dear, not Freud. The warning I got was about the black wolf.
Not
wasn't
that
it?
kind of lost
And the
fear.
wolves in the dream. It must be the same danger.
It's so frustrating. The more I find out, the more questions I have.
Why don't you try a little communicating of your own? Ludwig's the link. Appeal to him. The answers may not come right away, but at least you'll give the guide something specific to say the next time she contacts you.
Isn't there any way that you could, do a psychic reading on Ludwig or something?
To tell you the truth, I've been trying all day to make contact, but I only feel great despair. Ludwig's soul is not at peace.
Oh, dear. Okay.
I'd better go.
Anytime you need us, stop by.
And be careful now.
Thanks.
I love this music. It's so cheery after that kind of severe part there. Okay. I guess that's all the Smiths can tell us now. Let's go back to the car.
Quick, to the chopper.
To the Batmobile. Or, I guess... To the Grease-mobile. Ludwig Museum
Grease-mobile.
ticket. Wait a minute. I think there was like a pamphlet or something we could have taken from the Wagner Museum. But... I don't know. Ooh. It still shows something we gotta do in Rittersburg. Huh. Wait a minute. That was funny. You got in the car and then she's immediately back. Oh, wait. Oh, there was a cutscene here. We haven't done this.
Did you have a good time?
Uh-huh. Anything new?
Yes, you had a phone call.
Really?
A man named Professor Barkley.
Oh,
He said you had
yeah!
come.
The history
I do.
professor.
Thanks.
That's the thing we had to do here. Okay, good, good. I'd forgotten about this. But yeah, we called that professor in the middle of the night, so... So I guess we all...
How erotic.
No, it was daytime in Germany, but it was nighttime in the States. Okay, I guess all we gotta do is I'm gonna check the bookshelves again as well once we're done with this part, but I just gotta whip out my card. Professor Barkley's card. There we go. We're calling him again. He's probably late at night again. Oh no, he's at his office.
Hello?
Hi, Professor Barkley. It's Grace.
Oh, good. I have a name for you. It's Herr Josef Dahlmeier, and he specializes in Bavarian history, and I think he's somewhere near you are.
Herr Josef Dahlmeier. Great, got a number?
Yeah, I do. It's 4982 555.
I don't remember if we do meet this guy in this part.
Thanks a lot. Sorry about the bother.
My biggest question is
no
if I type in that phone number in the Skype call right now, I wonder what number we'll get.
I'll let you know.
Well, be good.
It's probably not a real number. Okay, good. I think we've... Oh, wait a minute. Let's check.
I'm not sure what other... There's nothing...
Okay.
Ooh, I like how grainy they turn once we click them.
These biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute.
There's a new one. It looks completely different from the others.
I didn't see this before. Yep, English. Huh.
I wonder I'm wondering if Gerda had it, and then she just put it sneakily back in there. Come on. Come on, let's read this bitch, because we gotta do it anyway. Fairy Tale King of Bavaria.
Ludwig remained in his youth a hunting.
Okay.
Other than this, when they would...
Oh, jump from page 1 to page 81.
A good example...
Confoundery, there are no pictures in this book.
His Majesty, this author has...
Oh god, this... Okay, that's the
king,
last page.
In many of the
Okay, I guess she read everything. Good.
It's like we're reading this with like Johnny Five style speed. If you ever seen the movie Short Circuit.
No, I haven't, but I've seen other bits of like... It's a common joke in... Is this the phone number we took? Yeah, Joseph Dahlmeier. Dalmia, I think you'll find it. Josef Dalmia. I'm just trying to pronounce things in German properly. I like the lighting on this scene, actually. Although it's a very desolate background. I don't know what the... Oh, there's swords and stuff like hanging on the wall in the background.
Hello?
Gotta put the picture of Ludwig up there because he's a Ludwig expert.
You must be Grace Nakamura, the American history student.
Yes.
I hear you're interested in Ludwig II.
You must be Grace Nakamura, the American history student.
On Starnberger See. Meet me at the Memorial Chapel.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Was there anything you wanted me to
look into
before
this is our
we meet?
little deep-throatish...
Well, I was hoping you knew something about someone called the Black Wolf. He was a contemporary of
Rendezvous that we're gonna have with this historian.
And he was well connected.
Never heard of him, but I'll check. See you there.
Thanks. Bye.
And with Deep Throat, I was, of course, referring to the informant in the Waterloo scandal there.
I was thinking, what is this, a booty call?
Yeah. One thing we forgot to mention about Grace, she's a real slut.
I like how we say that, and as soon as we say that, she appears right into her bedroom.
Okay, I think we got a new location on our map, and hopefully we've done everything in Riddersburg now. Or it could just keep flashing until the end of the chapter, because that's...
Doesn't it get tedious? Doesn't it get tedious how you have to click the keys every time you want to use the car?
We had to do the same thing with Gabriel, so I got used to it already.
Ooh.
Man, it shows... well, this is the place we gotta go. I think all we have to do here is... We have to talk to the guy, and then we have to take a look at something... And Grace has another vision, I think.
I like the scaling there.
Yeah, for once it's actually pretty accurate.
It's a memorial chapel.
Well, thanks for that little bit of insight. This place has a very sort of an eerie atmosphere to it, actually. Kind of creeps the fuck out of me. Oh, we could have just skipped over. I just noticed the fast forward arrows over there. Okay, we gotta stand by this railing and the historian's gonna show up. Okay, this scene is like so obvious blue screen,
This
though.
is where he died. You must be Grace.
Look, the water's
Dahlmeyer.
not even moving.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to start with
Wow, that
I
hairstyle,
wanted
that's
you to see it.
that's so 80s going into 90s, that hairstyle.
More than at the castle. So, what did you want to know?
So yeah, that's another thing about this part of the game that's kind of bugs me, is that there aren't that many puzzles. You just spend a lot of time, like, talking to people, looking at stuff, reading up stuff.
Professor Barkley says your hobby is Ludwig.
Yes.
Yes.
He was the last real king that Bavaria had. As a Bavarian and a history buff, well, that's enough to hook me right there.
But there's more, right?
He was a romantic, you know. A dreamer. And he was misunderstood, maligned.
With a haircut like that, I'm waiting for the moment he starts singing and dancing.
At least I live in the 1990s. And not every
Actually, it's nice that we finally get another character with a screwy hairstyle, because it seems like all of those have been in Gabriel's chapter. You hear the seagulls in this. Yeah, that creeped me out.
I'm still bothered that the water's standing still, even though there's waves in there.
Yeah.
You know about Ludwig's diary, right?
Of course.
How can I get my hands on it?
I'm sorry. I have been trying myself for 5 years. They keep it locked up tight in the Royal Archives, and they don't let it out. They must think it contains.
It's a good thing he's not talking about his penis.
Let anyone see
Only one person
couldn't help yourself, could you?
A biographer. He had friends among the German royals, and they let him look at it.
Did you ever
I
try
couldn't
to
keep my
contact
hands off
Chapel?
of that joke.
Yeah.
I don't believe I never thought of that. If you do and you find out anything, you must share.
It's a promise.
Yes, it's actually... It gets, like, really nice for Grace now. Like, the first chapter was like she was being a bit of a biatch. Like, now things are actually kind of looking up, and she's actually being very helpful to another bunch of characters. Oh, this is the awkward silence between the parts where we're picking the topic to talk about.
Hang on, let me just think of my lines.
I don't know where to start. There's so much.
Oh no, I feel another dialogue
The
tree
most
coming on.
significant thing about Ludwig II was that he signed over independent Bavarian statehood to Prussia in 1870. Bavaria became a part of United
Isn't that
Germany.
kind of
and
weird
Ludwig
that
became a figurehead
Prussia
prince
is
under the
basically
Prussian
what
Kaiser.
was eventually became Germany?
Bavaria had been involved in the 100 Years' War. People were tired of fighting. Prussia's push to unite the German states made some amount of sense. Still, Ludwig must have had other options. At the very least, he should have negotiated better terms.
So what was the real reason?
He was manipulated by Bismarck. At least that's what I
Really?
think anyway.
Yeah, Germany's got this weird history where it's just a bunch of different little countries that eventually became like one state. I love that idle animation.
You'll find two perspectives on Ludwig.
The
view that
is it just me, or is this the first idle
romantic
animation you see in the game where there's no
Ludwig, the
coffee
tormented
involved?
loner. Then there is the
We've seen them
historian's
before,
point.
but we've never seen them
Ludwig
repeat.
was
Like now, all of a
plagued
sudden, the
with
game's
guilt over
working
his
again.
sexual orientation.
Like it's
and
usually
he
that they
was
just
driven
played
mad
right
with
away as
self-love.
the dialogue scene starts,
But I
and
take it you're not buying
then
either point of view.
never again after
Well, it's
that.
all too convenient, isn't it? That he was a devout Catholic, there is no question, and I'm sure there were pressures on him to be normal. But he was no prude. He loved Byron. Yes. Philosophy, the French court. If anything, Ludwig was too much an egomaniac. He didn't give a damn what anyone thought. And besides, he didn't try to hide any of his relationships. If he suffered from anything in his romantic life, it was disillusionment. No one loved him back as purely as he himself loved.
Well, if it wasn't sexual guilt that tormented him, what was it?
I don't know.
He was
His
a
diary was
werewolf.
filled with self-guilt, but I'm sure it's not about that. If I knew, I'd write my own book, set the record straight, so to speak.
Writing your own little werewolf fanfic, I don't know. Bismarck, Midnight Sleigh Rides. Oh, yeah. This is...
Have you read anything about Ludwig's midnight sleigh rides?
Oh, would that have been something? To be out at night and suddenly see him sweep by with his entourage?
No wonder why they
They say the
initially
night
thought it
had
was
to
some
take
sort of
Ludwig
sexual
and
fetish with a name like
being
Midnight Sleigh,
outdoors
right?
and the rushing wind of the sleigh calmed him down.
Wow.
Sometimes even the sleigh wasn't enough. He would stop in some remote woods, order his servants to stay put, and go wandering off by himself for hours. It drove the servants crazy.
All right. Bismarck.
Tell me about Bismarck.
Bismarck. He was
Isn't
the
he
Prussian
that?
Kaiser's
Isn't he
chancellor.
that musician that
Not
only had a
Nazi.
one-hit wonder?
Bismarck had a
Oh no,
reputation for
that was
learning people's
Bismarck.
weaknesses and
Ah.
manipulating them. It's a matter
Is
of record
Bismarck
that
a
he had
herring?
spies on Ludwig's staff. He may even have had a henchman
That's
even
a
closer
funny
to the
joke,
king.
also, but only
And
if
he
you
was
know what a
involved in the
Bismarck
conspiracy
herring
to
is.
declare Ludwig insane.
But yeah, it's a person. It was a person. The Black Wolf. I don't think he knows anything, though.
Did you find out anything about the Black Wolf?
No, I did. I've
Ooh.
read about him before, but I
You
hadn't
surprised
realized
me.
that was who you were talking about. His name was Godin. Paul Godin. I found a
Paul
reference to his
Godin?
book called The Black Wolf after you telephoned.
I've never heard of him. Who
Sounds
was
like
he?
an 80s rock
Godin lived on the
singer.
fringes of the Prussian court.
I was about to say, it sounds
He
like the
was
guy who
handsome,
played
charming,
Crocodile Dundee, but that was
dangerous.
Paul
Paul
Hogan.
Hogan.
He was variously rumored to have been a foreign prince.
I
a
ain't no
Russian
knife.
spy,
This is a
even an
knife.
assassin. Since you were interested
Well,
in him,
that's
I found
a
a
spoon.
I've tried desperately to avoid
Said
making
he
any
came from
Crocodile
abroad in the
Dundee
mid-1800s,
jokes while we've
but
done our
claimed
Let's
high
Play.
German blood.
Do you know where he came from?
Because I actually like those movies,
And
but
he was
they're
ruthlessly
like the most
ambitious. He
stereotypical
probably
Australian
found
thing
out
that you
who
can
held
think
the
of.
power.
So
Bismarck.
I like those movies
And
too, but
offered
the
his
third one
services.
sucked.
Bismarck was a good judge of talent of that sort.
yeah, it's kind of like that sequel that came a little too late. Like there's a certain like key number of years between movies when you really shouldn't make a sequel anymore. But yeah, it wasn't like horrible, but it wasn't as good as the first two. Yeah.
What else do you know about Godin?
He must have done something remarkable. Bismarck was not a generous man. He liked to string people along.
And he
with
was a
promises
werewolf
of where he
too.
came through. He did for Godin, though.
It's
Gave him a
like
royal title and
there's no
land
mystery
in
here. They were all
1621.
werewolves.
And that was the last reference I found to him.
Well, how could he just disappear?
It's not that unusual. Back then, when you were given a title, you usually changed your name and moved to a place where no one knew your past, so you could act with impunity, or be a pompous
Yeah.
ass and get away
I'm
with
so
it.
I'm so trying to think of a way to tie in an Ozzy Osbourne joke to this. Bark at the Moon.
Oh yeah, Bark at the Moon. That would be.
Is there any way to find out what Godin was called after he got his title?
Is it that critical?
It might be.
Oh, that shot's not gonna bother you at all.
You could send away for a copy of the entire.
Yeah, it kind of bothers me too that the water's not moving.
Destroyed during one of the wars.
If you think this is bad, imagine what it would have been for them, just staring into a blank screen, not knowing what to look at.
This is obviously a blue screen. Like you can tell if you look at the edges, like you can see. Well, it's not that bad, but yeah, you can tell. The thing is that. Well, I guess they could have gone back on a day when the water was still, but that could have taken forever for them to kind of photograph that.
What do you know about Ludwig's hunting accident?
A couple of years ago, I was introduced to this great old man, a real old world farmer. Well, his grandfather was Richard Horning, Ludwig's equestrian. Oh, he told some great Ludwig stories.
Equestrian is a horse wrangler.
Anyway, he said that after the hunting accident, Ludwig got terribly ill, that he had a fever and was acting crazy. They were afraid that the wolf had been carrying a disease or that the bite had gone septic.
A wolf bit him?
Yeah, it's
A
not
wolf
so
bit him?
unusual.
Uh-oh.
There were a lot of wolves in the Alps back then. The servants were really worried.
This is not
Ludwig
good.
recovered.
This is not good at all.
This isn't good, considering the Gabe's going on a hunting trip himself
He was
soon.
worse than ever after that.
Mm-hmm. If you get bit by a
Foreshadowing!
wolf, yep. If you get bit by a wolf, that could either mean one of two things. One, you're gonna get turned into a werewolf, or two, you're gonna have rabies.
Oh, yeah?
What do you mean Ludwig got worse after the accident?
Ludwig always had been a very private person. But after the accident, he got darker.
Did you know that rabies actually is one of the most lethal diseases in the world?
Enter his chambers bent over so they couldn't see his
Yeah,
face.
people don't die from it anymore because, you know, people know to get shots and things like that. But honestly, like, in the old days, it was, like, pretty fatal.
Yes, well,
Yeah, people
always my
don't
father
die
felt sorry for
from
Ludwig.
rabies anymore because they get shot with a gun.
Wow, that was a bad one. Man. Sad trombone on that one. Servant's fears. Oh, how much longer do we have to talk about this
There were
guy?
other reasons why Ludwig's servants feared him.
Look, I dig your hair, but I think it's outlasted its novelty.
Apparently, there was a period of time of 2 or 3 months.
This is actually a pretty good actor, though. I do think he does a very good job, like bringing this dialogue back to life. It's just that there's just way too much of it.
Superstitious minds, anyway. Some of them quit over it.
Listen,
Just
it's not
walked
you,
away.
it's me. I think we should see other people, got it?
Heartbreaking and ungodly. Maybe it was Wagner trying to sing.
Okay, that did it.
Well, I guess that's all for now. Thanks for your help.
It's my pleasure. And if you ever want to talk again, just give me a call. I'll meet you down.
I will. Thanks.
Servus.
Bye.
Alright, but we've already gone way over time, so I think it's time to save. And, I don't think we can top terrorist, but what the hell do we call this part? Paul
Ladies
Hogan.
hair forever.
Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan.